Very, very welcome everyone to this Saturday Satsang. Let us sit in silence for some time. Uh, some, some, if some feeling comes in me, I'll share a few words also during this time. At the end, I'll, I'll say that this sitting ends now. When we have decided right now to just sit in silence, then it is possible that some of us are able to immediately remain in the silence of our self, our being. And we are able to enjoy the silence which we are experiencing, or the silence which we are. We are this silent being, the silence which is alive, which is true. And some of us may not be able to come to this silence immediately, right this moment. We will experience energies are moving inside us. And we will notice, we will also feel that our engagement with the energies is going on also right now. For those of us, let us choose to rather not be engaged with the energies in any usual way, but more let us engage with the energies in the way of watching them or just seeing our energies, everything which is inside us. Where we continue reminding ourselves that I'm only going to watch, I'm only going to perceive everything which is inside me. But as a whole, like in one go, looking at everything which is happening inside, not going in details of anything. Going in details is what is being engaged in this context. So remaining as a unified, continuous watcher of everything which is happening inside. For those of us who are not able to remain in the silence of the being, because essentially this is silent sitting. meaning sitting in silence of our own being. So if it is possible, this is best. And if it is not possible, then let us only watch everything which is happening inside us in one go, remaining as a unified, continuous watcher. We will notice in the beginning when we are watching that occasionally we get engaged with what we are watching. Like we start touching those things, we start, picking those things that, okay, let me see what is the detail of it. And slowly we are going to withdraw ourselves from all those activities that we are doing or engagement that we are doing with what we are watching inside us. And the more somehow we are withdrawing ourselves from the engagement with what we are watching, the more calm we will become as the watcher. A more calm watcher we will become. We are becoming. And there are less things to watch also here now. The more disengaged watcher we are of what is inside, the less things are there to be watched. Those things which could be watched or seen by us become more like one thing happening inside, more and more. And somehow, very naturally, a disidentification may happen from the sense that I am a thinker, that I am a experiencer of what is happening inside me, to I am the watcher, I am the perceiver of all of it. And a sense, a feeling that enables us to experience the watcher, the perceiver that we are. We start feeling the watcher that we are. Because now there is less to watch as the items, less distraction possible, less dividedness of our attention also possible. Our attention is becoming more unified, more undivided. Now here, as if we are watching like an empty space of being inside, as if there is nothing here. And whole of our attention is open. And in one sense it is going out. Out means out in the content of the being, but there is no content. Because the attention and the watcher is undivided. So the attention is going out and coming back immediately. Like our attention is filling the space of our being with the light. However, there is nothing there in this light. Empty spaciousness of the being, filled with the light of our own seeing. And here, naturally, we start relaxing. Our attention, which moves, is not moving so much now. And we are able to feel the place from where we watch anything, or the place from where the attention arises, from where the attention comes out and moves. This is the place of that being that we are, and this is where we are now sitting in silence. We are sitting in silence of the being. If a sense of engagement happens inside when sitting in the silence, then maybe we can open our eyes little bit, like half open eyes, and that may uh, disengage us from that momentary sense of engagement, and we may fall back into the silence of the being. Eyes may be half closed, but focus not moving anywhere else. Focus is still unmoving. Focus of the eyes. Feeling this silence in which we are sitting. Allowing ourselves to relax in this silence in which we are sitting. And this silence in which we are sitting is that environment in which disidentification with the false self happens, or freedom from the false self happens, and freedom into the true self that we are happens very naturally. As our attention or ability to experience resting in the silence of being, it starts sensing or feeling the being that we are beyond this silence. This silence cannot be defined or experienced through thinking or feeling usually, but who we are, uh, the being is experiencing it and knowing itself also through experiencing its own silence without any movement of mind, without any movement at all. Neither the silence is moving nor the being who is experiencing is moving. In this silence, somehow the unmoving witness that we are wakes up. It is noticed by us that I am witnessing the experiencing of silence. While experiencing of silence continues, the witnessing wakes up here. But it does wake up. We cannot watch it. So let us not try to watch the experience of silence. Let us allow ourselves to relax in this silence. This is what is silent sitting, sitting in the silence of our own being. Thank you for joining this guiding. This guiding has ended here, and you can still continue sitting in this silence as you feel. But if you when you choose to open your eyes, meaning when you choose to come back to the mind activity, uh, perceiving through the senses, then try to remember the place from where, where you were experiencing silence. And you will find that place to be here also right now. That place has not gone anywhere. It is as if you are perceiving from there still. As if you are still partially sitting there. Only part of your being has come in the mind and perceiving through the senses. So it is about how much of you have come in the mind and how much of you is remaining in the silence still. And both are possible. To be in the silence and to be present in the mind to perceive through the senses. It is possible. But it is not possible for the false self. It is not possible for the person. It is possible for you, the being. Thank you. If anyone of you want to talk to me, you can also talk now. Mila, you want to talk?
Yes, Ji. it is very beautiful that when we were sitting during this guidance, I realized that when you're speaking, your speaking was absolutely, how to say, separate of who I am. I mean, when you're speaking, you don't have some kind of attachment of this. You're absolutely still. And I raised my hand because I want to learn this also, how to speak without moving.
Oh, understand. Uh, for you know, for the understanding purpose, I would like to express like this, and then afterward maybe we can explore together also. So uh, the silence or the stillness of our own being, no, is what we experienced in this silent sitting. Yes, but our self definition still is not same as that silence of the being. So we don't regularly or normally feel that I am that silence of the being, that stillness of the being, no, which we experienced in the silent sitting. No, meaning our self definition is different. We are different. No, different basically means that we are maybe in a certain state of identification about ourselves, meaning our individual level consciousness. Within that, we have not become still fully clear that I am this still silent being. And until that happens, we are going to feel that when I don't speak, then I am still silent being. When I speak, then I become something else. Because this, the one who speaks in a way, not the one, but the place from where we speak, no, is different than the place within ourselves where we experience silence. No. Yes, so this is that background a little bit. Like as if we come out of it. So it is like a correction that is going to happen in our understanding. The correction will happen in two places. Two times. One time is when we are sitting in silence of our own being. In this silence, somehow we will become more relaxed. As I invited also in today's meeting, that guiding that we will become more relaxed also. Relaxed basically is not like relaxed means like unconscious or absent from it, but more present actually. More present or more conscious. And somehow as we will become more relaxed and comfortable with this silence, as if we are inviting our core mind, individual mind also here in a way, to be merged in it. No? So that core mind, meaning that core wisdom through which we live as an individual, the only the essence of it, that is also invited here to be merged. No? And somehow that this silence that we know now we are and we are comfortable with, and that core mind from where we speak or live as individual, they start merging into one now, more and more. Only the core of it, not the detailing of the thinking or story of life in which we live, but only the essence of it from where we make decisions. So that decision maker level, like because in the speaking, for example, you are not just speaking through the mouth. You are not just using the mind to form the statements. You are making a decision also there, what to speak, not to speak. Or sometimes we say, no, this is not what I wanted to say, or maybe I would like to say better. So there's a decision also being made, not only in speaking, in everything that we do also. So that place is merged here, that subtle mind subtlemost level of mind is merged here in the silence, in our being, with our being, and it becomes one thing where we are able to experience silence and we are able to make decisions also. No? This is one place where this correction takes place. Another place is that place from where we make decisions, or let's say from where we speak. So when we are now speaking, that time we have a responsibility of speaking correctly, no? And also we can remain in touch with our own self or our own silence also. No? So sometimes, like including right now, you may choose to slow down in the speaking, like even if I speak less accurately, less efficiently, or less maybe accurately, but less maybe, I may cut down here, that I will speak accurately and efficiently, but less, but while remaining connected to the silence of my being. This is another way of merging that subtle mind with the being also. No? So now this is the explanation part. Now we can explore right now. So right now you have tasted the being, the silence, and you are already even now tasting it, and you can experiment with it right now. So would you like to explore with the sitting in the silence and noticing that whether the subtle mind merges here or not? Because it may take some time. Or would you like to rather speak from the place from where you usually speak while remaining connected to the silence? I think this is a better option for now, for a short meeting, because it's a short meeting, no? Only 2 hours or something. So please try right now. But you will speak will be anything you want to speak right now.
Yes, I want to choose the second option, to speak, because it's what I'm interested in, and I don't want to use the old way of speaking, my usual way. I want to learn the new way of speaking.
Oh. So now report to me a little bit that what you felt during this time now in this speaking when we were exploring and using it as an example, like exercise.
It feels like this background of silence, which I was experienced during the meditation. Now, when I'm speaking, is here, which is a huge difference between my usual speaking. Because usually it's kind of memory or experience, past experience, are here with me when I'm speaking, or kind of prepared things which I want to express when I'm speaking is here. And now it's fresh, it's silence, and yeah, that's why when I'm speaking, I'm trying, I'm trying to, I'm trying to speak, kind of.
Meaning trying to speak, meaning you are putting some effort in trying in speaking, no?
Yes, a little bit, yes.
But that's fine. Because silence is our natural state, effortless state. But speaking is effortful activity, no?
Yes.
One thing also I want to check with you, that are you happy with or satisfied or contented with your speaking? Or you feel that no, if I'm not connected with my silence, then I can speak better, more efficiently, or more in details or something. It's a very interesting thing I want to explore with you right now.
Can you ask again?
Ha. So let's say you are not in this satsang right now. You have not done just now silent sitting, and then when you will speak, in comparison to that speaking, this speaking which is happening right now, which you are doing with little effort, are you happy with this speaking? Are you happy that I will be able to cover all of my practical life very nicely? Or maybe no, I may become, a little bit, I may miss some important part or something like this.
No, I like it very much.
Meaning you will be able to take care of your practical life very well while remaining connected to the silence of your being when you are speaking like this. This is what I'm asking.
I don't know if I will be able, but I feel that yes, it could be possible.
Uh, I don't mean that you have to guarantee this and that has to happen really from now onward, but you are present here and you have wisdom. So you can scan, you can sense that if there is something inside you which is saying that no, I can do better in the other way than here. No, that is what I'm asking.
No, nothing like this.
You are like very peaceful and happy
Yeah.
in the way it is happening right now, the way you have chosen. No.
Yes, very much.
So this is very, very good. By the way, if at all, when you are not, like not right now, but when in the practical life you feel that kind of thing, no? And you choose to 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 check that whether this approach can work in the real life, no? That time I noticed what a amazing thing that can help or helps. That is being more present. Like this word more present is really important to understand. Like as if we are a little less present than we can, than whole of ourselves. Like little bit of ourself is busy in something somewhere. What you mentioned as past, past not in the sense of mm, like there are two parts of the past. One part of the past is the essence of the past, as the wisdom that we have gained from the past. Like we have become wise, no, based on the past. No, we all become like we don't make those mistakes which we made in the past. So that essential wisdom is here when we are present and connected to the silence of our own being. That's why we cannot make mistakes or we cannot do wrong like to our practical life also. You know. But there is another form of past present here, that past is present here. That is our engagement with it into the blocks of thoughts and feelings which are living the past right now. You know. So that engagement is going to interfere somehow in this way of talking, no, speaking. This is, I think, what you were mentioning.
Yes, Jay, it's like that stickiness which come together, but
Yes.
they should be separate, but somehow in me they stick with this.
Yeah. I mean that basically that stickiness is not something useful in any state really. It is neither useful where you are right now, connected to the silence of your being and choosing to speak in a normal sense, like using your mind and everything. No. Nor when we are not connected to the silence. That time also it is not useful. It only sucks our blood or our energy, no, that time. It doesn't give us anything. It just takes something from us. No. Although because of the habit, we feel that when I'm talking to somebody, I should be thinking very, very fast. Then only I'm efficient. No. Actually, the best would be that I should not be thinking at all. But does not mean that I'm lost in some kind of meditative, so-called meditative states. No. Doesn't mean that. No, I'm much more present right now with all my abilities. No. Like I'm experiencing the silence of my being, the stillness that I am actually quite still, stable being here, but also the wisdom that I have gained in life about doing everything is also here. So I will be much more reasonable now. I will be much more efficient and wise versus I keep thinking what happened last time when somebody asked such a question and what was my answer and whether this was okay or not. Like we keep like this. That is definitely not a best option when you are thinking, when you are talking to somebody. But it appears to be like this to the person state. So in the person state, obviously we are not talking about that state. We are talking about the true state. No, in the person state, many things happen, but we are not talking about them right now. No, we are talking about the true state of being, and from here choosing to speak. No. So do you feel you are able to connect to this? What I'm saying?
Yes, very much.
So with this understanding, relax more now. Like you have absolutely all the abilities of thinking, you know, evaluating, analyzing, making decisions and everything right now. Don't try to be in one sense like kind of spiritual about speaking, but more normal and simple. But as the being, as the silent still being. So this is what basically means to be present actually. This being present actually is this simple thing. Being present means being whole of yourself here where you are, into what you are doing. Which includes the silence level of being, and it is experienced by us continuously when discovered. When it has been discovered, then it is we are not going to lose the experience of it. And our other abilities are also there. Intelligence is there, intellect is there. you know so try this right now and try to speak if you feel.
Yes, it is very beautiful. It's like I merge in each level of this.
Yes, like a complete
Before,
being.
yeah, yes.
And before.
Before it was not that complete as it is now. Yes.
eh,
And it is a different, how to say, sense.
uh, Different in what way?
Like before it was incomplete. Now I can understand this because of compare to of the state. And also I was trying before, and now I completely, how to say, relax. Yeah.
So this relax, like which we also experienced in silent sitting, is a really eye opener. That how
Yes.
not relaxed we are when we are living our in a normal state of being. Yeah. One very amazing thing noticed by us, I noticed that the more complete we are, within ourselves, initially when we are less complete, we are able to experience the silence, and it is more strong. Like it feels like more strong, like a more powerful experience. No, but it disappears. More powerful, but disappears. Like very fast, very soon disappears. And now you would feel less powerful silence, like less strong experience of silence, but does not go away. And which one is better? Only when we come here to this version, then we find that this is better because it does not go away. Even the most subtle experience of this silence, most subtle possible, like as if not there at all, but continuous, is so much more powerful than we can imagine. It can blow your mind. Like even for 1 second, we cannot forget that this being I am, absolutely all the time, regardless of what I am doing, where I am. No, this is the power of continuity. Continuity. So this, the more complete we become, the more continuous is the experience of our being. Because the broken passages or links are not there anymore. That that experience kind of goes all the way. And is experienced by us. Thank you. It's very, very nice exploration with you. Thank you. Thank you. Peter, you want to talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello, Peter.
Long time.
Very, very nice to see you.
Very nice to see you. Very nice to hear everything. Sorry, I was late getting on, and yeah, everything you shared, it's very illuminating. One of the things that I don't think I've ever seen before was in listening to you share and guide. It was like I was perceiving a misperception that's been taking place in all these interactions, where normally the attention is so caught up in the whatever it is, the activity, but it's like in this guidance you were giving, it was like something was getting recontextualized, that there was always this deeper place, but it was all like fixated in this activity, which it can't really produce anything because it's just like a frantic energy that can, whatever that is, cover up the deeper place. But it's like seeing that the deeper place is here. How could it go? But yet, and it's just, I don't know, I guess what came up for me was like this idea of nothing can be a means to an end. Yeah, like you are the end of myself and I am the end of yourself. Like there's just this profound love that we share and that we are. And I don't know, and it just seems like all this really ever can take place is correcting of misperceptions.
Yes, yes.
And I don't know, everything you shared, it's just beautiful. And it's, I guess what I'm present to from this little interaction, it's just, it's the recognition of the, what is it? Like the sin, if we can say that. I don't like that word so much.
What?
But
Seen.
like the sin, or the error.
Error. I
Is,
think better.
Is the speaking, when the speaking comes out of here, and it's not serving us coming back here because of the pain of being away from here.
Yes.
You know, that feeling of so lost in like a tumbleweed versus the rest and, feeling at home, feeling the belonging and the love and the connection,
Yes.
the wholeness. But, yeah.
Very, very happy to hear this, all of this from you. Thank you. So beautiful. I'm feeling this inspiration to speak back like this, that as if we are feeling some kind of discomfort in our being initially, but we continue speaking from here. And what can really help us is that somebody who is speaking from the silence or the joy of the being, we can hear that. Just hear that. And somehow we come back. to the silence and the joy of our own being also. And then from here again speak. You also speak, no? Yeah. Yeah. And then that is circle is complete now, no? Like somehow you listening to some being speaking from silence inspires you, enables you to recognize that I think this, I also have this place, like as if you remember because of busyness and like when we are speaking from this discomfort or noisy place of being and other people also speaking from there, that kind of empowers us to remain in that kind of conviction that it is true or something has to be done there more. But when we listen to someone who is speaking from silence and joy, kind of invite us to question that do I really have to do things like item wise or can I just jump inside my being more directly and like leave this whole thing and just sit and do nothing and then see what happens and you will laugh like what the hell, I am also silent, I am also true, hey, I am also feeling joy now, oh my god. So this joy was actually that when I was not doing anything, that is when I feel joy. And you have learned the art. Just sitting basically is learning the art of being who we are, no? And then practicing that art or understanding that okay. And it is an actual thing, but you are saying is an actual thing. Like there is a place of discomfort from where we are continuously totally engaged. Like you use some word and I understand very much that because I have experienced that also in me, at some point. Like like locked into the thoughts and feeling like what else you can do. Of course thinking can happen there, we can do contemplation and like refinement is possible, what we call a little bit spiritual growth is very much possible there, but what helps best is the meditation, what I call dhyan and satsang, like somehow tasting the silence of being more, but very very beautiful what you are saying. Very, very beautiful. And it is, if you notice that satsang is not some kind of pre-planned program. It is a being like you is feeling, and somehow the universe has arranged something where being like me feels like sharing something back. It's like very connected one thing. It's not like me saying separately something as you very correctly said. It's like a one thing happening. Thank you, thank you. It's very, very nice. Thank you, beloved. I felt just very happy, so I just felt like sharing. One beautiful thing also I feel like sharing with all of you that mm, in the place of being, in the place of silence of our own being, initially we don't find that entity, that identity which is very important for us, which is not really the reference of who we are in the mind in relation to other and life outside. It is more like an energetic sense of being someone. So that identity is not found in the silence of our own being. Initially, it feels like, oh, I'm not here. It's something too empty, something too open. Feels like this. But if we still choose to taste the silence of our own being, somehow our wisdom wakes up, where we are able to see that, hey, that place of discomfort and identity is like a not only place of discomfort, but also is like a place of restlessness. But it is also a place of just keep arranging, keep arranging, keep arranging all the time. I'm never free really to relax and just be. And somehow a choice is made inside us that I choose to be in this effortless, joyful being, even if I'm not a somebody. This is somehow where we agree to be who we are already and always. Like we are we are disagreeing continuously. We are registering to be who we are truly and always. Through all of our effort, we are just trying to register in some way. trying to cover, keep it covered in some way. The truth that I'm not a somebody. It does not mean that I cannot live as somebody. I can. We can live as somebody when that will require effort. But that will never be true somebody. That will be like an empty somebody. Like inside is empty. There is nobody there. Like this somebody will survive as long as we talk. As soon as you are silent, it's not there anymore. Again the silence and the nobodiness of the being again prevails here naturally. You know. And this somehow is known by us as our wisdom wakes up. By sitting in our silence, it is known by us that all right, the complete picture, somehow is known by us. Like which I was trying to come to experience, to explore with Mila also. Thank you. Very, very nice. Anna, you want to talk?
Namaste, Rajee.
Namaste.
This seems like the continuation from last week with speaking and listening. And while you were speaking with Mila, it was very clear that...
Last week means last Saturday.
No. When you were speaking with Milan, continuation, yes, from last Saturday of the topic, it seems to be. But while you were speaking with Mila now, it was very clear that with speaking, we have a choice, kind of. It's like you can either speak or not. But what I'm struggling with still since last week is the listening part. Because there it seems to be like you don't have it, or I don't have a choice, because somehow you get involved. No, not that you even get involved, but it's not really a choice. Somehow like that. I cannot explain it clearly. So if I can sit by myself and have my peace, it's fine. But as soon as there is some kind of disturbance from outside, because people want something all the time, then this staying present is more difficult for me, because I feel like this active listening that we are also learning, like to listen actively. So any
Yes.
clearing thank you.
Yes, I understand that. I will share little basics also, which may generally kind of give us more clear sense of what is happening here. Initially, when we start meditation, we experience this kind of thing definitely. You are not in that state, but initially when we start meditation, we experience this a lot. Like we are more troubled by what is happening outside during the meditations, silent sittings, than we were before. And the reason is somehow not that what is happening outside is disturbing us really as much now. Rather, we are trying not to listen to that, meaning we are trying to unhook ourselves from that place of that listener, which is keep trying to listen everything that is happening outside. And so it is fine. It is fine. Like, but if we can understand the process of meditation, process of meditation is not so much of a spiritual activity. It is a process of correction in the understanding of the one who is doing it, so that it can return to its true state of being. So in meditation, if we fight with the sense of disturbance that we feel, we will not succeed. Rather, if we understand that right now I have chosen to be in the silence of my being, in the truth of my being. It is okay for what is happening to happen inside me. Because what is happening inside me is only important right now, not what is happening outside. No. So even if something is happening inside me as a result of what is happening outside, no, let me see if I can let it be in me, let it continue happening in me, and while I remain just sitting or just being without doing anything. And that kind of correction happens in our understanding, and that kind of, sticking to that choice somehow enables us that. I'm not saying that we should ignore the actual calls from other people when we want to attend them. I'm saying when we have decided to meditate, a specific time we have given to ourselves, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and we know that right now nobody is going to call me, or we can ignore also during that time when we have already declared, like we will find our own way. What I'm saying is that time mostly nobody is actually calling for some work, but even by hearing other people talking, it may appear to us inside, oh, maybe they are talking about me or something important that I have to attend. But that somehow is what is the circle of ego. That I have to attend all the time thoughts, feelings, and this world. No, that is the circle of ego. Like there is an energy circle going on inside us, which is not really independently there. It is more because we have not discovered our true nature yet. Meaning we don't have any other option. The being does not have any other option. That I don't have any other option. My options are to be less listening, more listening, but listening. I don't have any option called not listening. No. And that option is discovered in meditation, in the silence of being, where we have to really try, in the sense that our habit of remaining in that circle, which is felt as an entity, identity of who we are, that we withdraw ourselves from it. The key is not doing anything. This not doing anything has to be understood very, very well. Not doing anything is not like actually not doing anything in life. It has nothing to do with practical life. But not doing anything when meditating. No? So what do you feel?
It is more not during the meditation, but during the regular life, that it feels like if I don't listen from that place, that it's almost like ignoring.
Understand.
Yes.
Yes.
Because during the meditation, whatever you say or Guruji says, it's there is none of this active listening. It is just more like heart listening, But in the rest of the 15 hours,
I understand, and I'm very interested in exploring this with you right now. Because I think this is something similar we are already exploring here. Like the holistic approach towards life. Not just cut off, So it definitely will be required, like active listening will be required, in some way. I feel that this example can help a little bit. That let's say there is something happening outside of our house. Always some sound will come, no, from outside of our house. But do we open our window for every sound that happens outside of our house? We don't. We open only open our windows for certain. Sometimes we open our door even for certain sound, because we know that's kind of important to attend immediately or look into it. No, how we do that? We do that out of a certain wisdom we have developed towards our physical house and the surroundings of it and the sound that happens in that surrounding. Yes. In the similar way, as we will sit in the silence of our own being and we will allow or accept our surrounding which is our feelings, our ability to think, and our life around our body also. Something similar will happen where we will very naturally be able to filter out all that which we don't really have to attend as an active listener, but more as a passive listener, like as if something, like as if our own power will be listening for us and telling us that this is the time to actually listen, and this is the time to, oh, all right, just remain. And this does happen really. This kind of ability develops inside us very naturally. Meaning, let's say we are working in an office, and we don't have a cabin, separate cabin. We are cubicles. No, in the cubicles, it's very natural to filter out that what to listen and what not to. Sometimes we listen what we should not. We should not be wasting our time in also, but mostly not. No. So, really sitting in our own silence of being not only enables us to discover who we are, the unbroken peace and joy, but also it opens up our wisdom. Opens up our wisdom. Normally, we may not see people waking up to who we are, who they are, and then being more efficient in the practical life. But ideally, it should be like this. This is my understanding. For some reason, we carry a certain conditioning in the mind that when I wake up to who I am, then I'm kind of not going to attend my practical life, or I should not. Maybe, So maybe that's some misunderstanding there, which is causing like a resistance, working like a resistance. If I can be more simple, if we can be more simple, if we can be truly the nothingness that we are, that's what we are. A being without being anything. No? That's what it means to be nothing. No? Or nobody, a being without being anybody, then our internal functioning or abilities, perfect themselves, refine themselves so fast actually, But here one thing is very clear that your mind in this case, the conditioning in a way, or the conviction we have for that conditioning, is not going to decide what you will listen and what you will not. You, the being, will decide. Your wisdom will decide. No? And sometimes that listening may not appear to be correct, maybe, from the outside. Sometime only, no? But a talk can happen, discussion can happen, things can be resolved, no? I feel like this. Like the more holistic we are, more holistically we are present where we are, which I lived with Mila also. We lived together, Mila also. No? The more somehow we have both. We have the ability to listen. No? We have the wisdom to be active and passive listener as and when necessary, but more automated, not with effort, but more effortless. No? And also, we have a natural kind of access to who we are, or natural clarity or connectedness with who we are also. It's about being more holistic in a way, holistically present in a way. Like right now, for example. Right now, has our practical life disappeared from where it was? It has not. Right now, has our have our abilities of dealing with practical life disappeared? Not. They are still there. But somehow, everything starts coming in the right proportion in some sense, Like we were attending too much certain things in our life, and we were attending too little certain things in our life. And that proportion gets corrected, like a balance happens somehow as we sit in our own being. waking up to who we are is never running away from life. It is actually coming back to life first time, presenting in life first time. No? But presenting, being present in life, being present in life first time, but not being present in the dream, actually being present where we are and as we are. When we are truly present, we are always present as ourselves. Now it doesn't matter with what we are present, no? Like the circumstances is less important now. This is my understanding. Please tell me, Anna, that this is right. I'm just joking.
You don't need confirmation from me.
Eh?
You don't need confirmation from me. I will report.
You check, yes. It will take some time.
I understood, and because I have ear problems very often, like constantly for many years already. So it has already materialized, you know.
I think this understanding is very important. You understood, and definitely you will, you know. Yeah, in one sense, we have been living in a very limited possibilities for within, within our life. No? In one sense, no. And that's why we doubt that when I will start living as myself, as whole of myself, then will these problems be solved? In one sense, problems are not solved when we start living as ourselves. Rather, problems are not found. What is found is life, which is kind of blossoming more and becoming better every day. The same life where no problems are found now is becoming better every day. Better than the previous day. No? Same life, before there were problems, now there are no problems, and now it becomes better every day also. How it becomes better actually somehow? Um, I feel that the more, in a way, holistically we live. When I say holistically, I don't mean that more whole of what we can live, we do live. No, more whole of ourself lives, even if little bit, one thing at a time only. Like very isolated living in terms of what do we live, but more holistic living in terms of who we are, who lives it. That is what enables. That is what does the magic, no? That's what it means to be present actually. Whole of myself present or more of myself present in what I am doing. No? That is the real magic. We are so appropriate somehow in making decisions when we make a decision. Because you also know, Anna, that it's not really the big deal that passive listening or active listening. The big deal is that I choose passive listening right now, meaning I choose not to listen and I still am contented, satisfied, unbroken peace. That's what I'm talking about. That your decisions, you make decisions and yet your peace is unbroken. Because whole of yourself has decided anything and everything now. Before that we are divided and deciding. And that's why anything that we decide always brings some disturbance. Like it disturbs peace. That's why we choose sometimes, we start choosing to not to decide also. Like, I should not decide. Let me remain in this indecisive state. Because the results of our decisions are going to bring, maybe in this case, less disturbance, but that dividedness inside will bring more disturbance. I understand this. This is the greatest possible art of being holistically present where we are, which includes both the words, the word of being that we are, the truth, and the word that we can experience, the perfection or the appropriateness in the interaction and way of meeting this life also. I think it's very, very clear now. Yeah, anybody else can talk? It's a very, very beautiful meeting. Yeah, Manu?
Gee, I want to connect with you. Just listen to you.
Then I can just share a little bit as it feels in the moment. No particular direction maybe, and you can just enjoy listening. One thing in relation to this, in relation to being holistically present, in this relation of being holistically present, where we are. I have learned this in very, at a slow pace, in bits and pieces, and then this whole thing came together at some point, So I will just share that detailing of it a little bit also. Like, most of us are troubled by our past, and could be in many, many ways. But one way through which we are troubled, I found, is that we are kind of less troubled by what happened in the past. We are troubled, but maybe but we are troubled by what happened in the past. But we are more troubled by how we met it, how we responded to it. We are troubled by this more, that how we like I could have responded better. We have this kind of sense, and it is true. This sense is true because we were less of ourselves present that time, or less of ourselves consciously present, that time. So that sense is what remains inside us until we are fully present and self-conscious. Then only we can say the interactions with life or flow, meeting with life is more and more joyful. Now, which way life goes, the results happen, is not so much used as a measurement of our happiness anymore, but responding from the wholeness of our own being itself is happiness. And here we will discover, this time consciously, what it means to be a child again. Like, what is the joy of the child? Because they respond from wholeness of being. That's why the game is less important that they play. But the very act of playing the game is what brings joy in them. They are very serious and also very easy to go away from it, like very, very much crying and then so and so, and then very quickly they forget also. Because there is a wholeness inside them which is trying to play out. Like this, it wants to experience itself in the body-mind. And that wholeness we will come to here also. But this time consciously. This time not like a child who can do whatever we want. Very much within the, wisdom of the adult that we have become now. But somehow, as if everything is a play now. Somehow as if everything is a play now. Not play in the sense of we have become careless, but play in the sense of dependency of happiness is not there anymore on life flow. Because being present actually is being present as ourselves. Being present as ourselves is being joyful, having this unbroken peace. Because of this unbroken peace inside our being, we naturally have very appropriate preferences towards life. We don't have excessive preferences anymore. No? Mostly we have preferences coming out of discomfort towards life. Here we have very less preferences or very appropriate preferences which are necessary for body and practical life and financial life and everything. And they fit so nicely with the life which is happening outside of ourselves, so much more. Like we somehow have less fight with life now, in one sense, That again results in more joyful meeting with life every day also. So this is a very beautiful, different circle of joy that begins for us, where the joy is going to just grow more and more, as we will become more efficient and wise in it. In the sense that how to remain in the silence, stillness of my being while acting, while playing, meeting life. So this is that way of the being, when we live life in the way of the being. In the meditation we learn the way of the being to remain only first. First we remain, then we act also from here. And this what I am sharing does not really apply to practical life only. It applies to spiritual life also, much more actually. Right now, for example, right now when we are sitting, how much of ourself is sitting? How much of ourself is listening, for example? And not only listening, when speaking also, how much of ourself is speaking right now, no? Not that some thought came inside, some feeling came that I just want to share. How much of myself is supporting that feeling? How much of myself is taking responsibility of that expression? No. Also is in the speaking, and how much of myself is listening? Like something is happening in the body, so I'm not able to listen well. Then what is happening in the body is also important for us, and then we got divided in a way. Our attention got divided also. Our attention can be divided, but can the being be divided also? Who listens really? Through the attention. So attention is like a tunnel of energy, like a pipe, like a tunnel of energy which goes to the ears. But that tunnel ends somewhere inside us also, who we are, who actually listens or listening. This being who is listening, even if its tunnel is broken, its attention is divided, is this being divided itself? If it is not divided, and it is conscious that I am not divided, then even the divided attention cannot do any harm actually. This is the magic of being present and being conscious. We will notice that my attention is broken. We will notice that I am not able to pay attention to what you are saying, Rajee, for example, right now. We will notice very simply. And also we will become clear. Like from inside, we take decisions from the being, right? In this moment, we will take a decision that no, it is important for me to attend what is happening right now in the body or anywhere else, and it is okay to not listen to you, Rajee. Or no, it is more important for me to listen to you, Rajee, and other things can wait. We are making a decision from inside continuously. It's just about being conscious of the place from where we are listening, or speaking, or making decisions. It is the same place of being. It is not the place of mind. It is the place of heart. It is about being conscious. You know. On a lighter note, there was a news some time back that in some part of the world, one young girl, like like a kid, ordered lot of items on a website, from a website, and spent almost all of the money her mother saved for her education and everything, because she got access to her card or something. She did not know that what she was doing. I think as a child, maybe sometime possible, or it is more the mother's responsibility to keep away those things, maybe. But can we also look inside us? Meaning, can we also maybe we are doing something similar? We are doing things, but we are not conscious that we are doing them. Meaning, we are not maybe fully conscious. But it means to be fully conscious, meaning fully conscious of the consequences, that what will happen if I do this. So can it be possible that we are doing things from the place of being without being aware of the consequences or the results of them, and that's why when something happens in our life, meaning that we experience, is as a surprise, as a bitter surprise that causes suffering, maybe. However, the seeds of that were sown by us only in the past. No? Is it possible? I'm just trying to look into it very simply. Because somehow the more conscious we become in the being, the more responsible also we become in making any decisions. Like we move very carefully. Move means making any decision. No? We remain unmoving more and more. That I will let things happen, but I will not move myself. Because when I move, not only I have to bear the consequences of it, I have to live the consequences of it, meaning the result of it, the effect of my karma, no? But also, I moved, no, first of all. Slowly, I think, is it not also something connected? And how are we right now? It is something useful, what I'm sharing. So, Manu, I hope that this is good. You wanted to connect, and I felt inspired to speak like this.
Ji, yes, Ji.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Namaste ji.
Namaste.
Ji, I'm very happy and I'm feeling to continue listening to you. I'll feel like this is my, like, I'm listening some song. It's so joyful.
I fully accept what you are saying. On a lighter note, that I'm singing a song like this. However, where I am sitting right now, that responsibility tells me to tell you the truth also. No? The truth is that it doesn't really matter in what activity, as soon as you have become whole. You know, as soon as you have become whole, holistically present here, no? The joy is sovereign on you. You know, sorry to say, but this is not my greatness. This is the greatness of existence that you are experiencing. You know, like, oh, you are tasting life. You are tasting truth right now. You know, when we are present holistically, holistically basically is a relative term, you can say, like more present. There is a threshold. When we are more present than when we cross that threshold, the, the joy starts showering on us in a way. Or we start experiencing that the joy is showering on me, which you are experiencing right now. And then there is another threshold beyond that, which I feel beings report differently also, that the love of the beloved is showering on me. It's not joy. It's not joy. It is love of my beloved, of my source, of the Lord showering on me. It's a direct connection. It's not like I'm a lost child. I'm never a lost child. You know, I'm in the loving embrace of the beloved all the time. All the time, you know. What more I can want? What more I can desire? And how would it matter now that practical life things and you know, like how would it matter so much now? This is all right. Reasonably, I will respond. You know. So I'm my speaking is working like a environment here, which is enabling you to listen holistically. But it mainly is enabling you to be holistically present. No? Like a learning, you are learning. No? Not that you have to continue listening to me holistically to experience this joy. You know? You will experience this joy in more and more things, more and more times in the day. And somehow this is where we will allow our abilities of body mind to function even more, get involved even more. No? Because they are as if they are also waiting in a way to be holistically involved in what we do. You know? Have we not experienced that even when we are doing a physical activity and let's say our body is healthy and we kind of fully get into that physical activity, how happy we feel, no? In the similar way, our energies, our body, mind will also they feel very happy when we get fully involved in what we do, because now we are living in the bliss of being already. It can be allowed. It is allowed somehow, in a way. No? Before there was a sense of control. Continuously we were trying to, because I may drift away to ego or something. You know, some region, whatever regions, no? Different region.
Before it was like a choice to listen, which part is for me, which part is not for me. So I choose always like, this is good, this is not for me. Like this category divide to listen to you. And now I feel I am free and available. Totally like here to listen.
I think it's very beautiful what you are saying and very, very fundamental, very, very important what you are saying. I'm feeling inspired to share with you like this, that as you know, there are two type of people in this world, no? Who come to satsang, no? The one who come for clarity, no, clarity. Like, so there we try to listen selectively because we are trying to resolve something, no? which is also not bad thing, but that will cause only spiritual growth. When we are listening in satsang selectively, clarity will happen. And clarity happens at much deeper levels also in the being. We only think that clarity is happening in the mind while we listen to satsang. No? And slowly it is noticed as we become more mature that, hey, listening in satsang, even if selectively, is so useful. But then there are other type of people in this world also who come to satsang for waking up. But not waking up as an idea to something that we imagined, but waking up to that intimate joyfulness, truth that we are. Sat, Chit, Anand. You are that. No? You are much more this Sat, Chit, Anand than your body, than your mind, than your abilities, than the world that you experience. You know? So, when you have come to wake up, I feel you have come to wake up now. Then holistic listening, not selective listening now. Yeah. Like holistic listening in satsang will not let you fall in any traps of the mind, any sense of sleep, basically any traps whatsoever. You just remain present. What happens when you remain present? You wake up to who you are, no? And so simply that nobody has to tell you that yes, it is very nice. Even if I tell you that, hey, let's inquire something, and you will feel okay, we can, but I'm very happy really. Like I'm very very happy. Like I was never so happy before. Sorry, I was never so happy before. Like the less divided we are, the more natural wisdom we have here. That no, it's a perfect place for me. Meaning, yes, it is a perfect place for me. And what if my mind comes or thoughts come? Somebody will attend them, but not me. I'm not going to attend them. This clarity is present in the wholeness of our own being so naturally. Because I am happy right now. I'm peaceful, right? You know? Like the more divided we are, the more we are deceived by the mind. And we think that we are deceived by the mind. No, we are the mind that time. Mind is deceived by the mind. Not that anything else can be deceived by the mind. No? When we are living in the mind state, we are living as the mind also, as a thought also, as thoughts also, as you know, as beliefs also, as core understandings also. So we are sitting on one thought and looking at another that time, no? That, oh, this is not a nice thought. Oh, nice thought. Who is saying that? There is not a nice thought or it is a nice thought. Who is speaking that? It is the being is speaking, obviously. There is no other thing inside us which can speak. No? But being is not speaking as itself. No? True knowledge or true self-knowledge is not knowledge as such, but it is more knowing, like what you are knowing right now. True knowing, true self-knowledge cannot happen in the future or in the past. It can happen only in the present, no? So we have to just find some way to be present. That's all, no? And you have found this way of listening in satsang, no? Which generally speaking is a very beautiful way. Because we are very joyfully exploring the truth. It's not like a problem, oh my God, we have to solve things, you know. You know what I mean? In satsang you can learn the way of the being, or you are learning the way of the being actually. Way of the being is not way of thinking, concluding, beyond thinking, beyond concluding, beyond even feeling. waking up to who we are, no? It's beautiful, I feel, no? Yeah.
Ji, one small thing, but it's very useful. Also, want to share. I'm continue listening you, and in between, if little bit like for a second or like for a moment, I just take out of this listening, then I immediately whatever you say, I just pick up from there and again connect. So that any word, not like a particular word, but I just come in same rhythm. That's also I notice. Yes.
I cannot say that I am speaking differently today. So it cannot be me. It is you only that you are interested in listening today, no? Because you have the feeling to listen, to remain present or like this. Yeah.
No need to like what is the topic, where you start, no need to think. Like where I am, just start listening. I just join from that point, that word even. Like no matter what is the going on before. Like,
I feel you are listening the speaker, not the speaking, no? It may not be a very apt example, but I read in one of the translated Russian book where um, Rasul Gamzatov is saying that there was a guy who used to come to our village and used to used to share or sing also some stories to us. And in return, we used to give him, food and all, little bit money also like this. And he was the same guy who used to come like every year, and almost same stories he used to tell every year. And I asked my father that he tells like same stories. I even myself have been listening to it for 2, 3, 4 years now. And you say that he is coming for much for many years before my birth even. What is that thing? What is that? Why? How can you listen the same stories again and again? And my father was like a bit shocked, like, what are you saying? So you were listening to the stories? He said, no, we don't listen to the story. We listen to the guy. His very way of talking. It's so amazing. You missed the whole point for so many years. No. He said like this. Meaning the very way of expressing is so beautiful. We enjoy that. That's why we invite him. These stories, we know ourselves better than him. Actually, he make mistakes sometimes because he is not good at concept and things like this so much. And we have books actually about these stories. So you can read the books. No, it's not about that. It's about the way he speaks, the way he makes them alive for us when he speaks and when we listen. The way these stories come to life so this is what it was amazing in a long time, in our childhood we read this and I liked it somehow. And sometime in relation to listening, it happens to us that we like the way somebody speaks and we enjoy listening more than what they are speaking also. And I feel in satsang there is a slight possibility of such a thing also. Slight only, but there is a slight possibility for some beings. There is possible that somehow they are able to connect to the being directly who is speaking, and they are able to enjoy that beauty of that more than what is being shared right now. Like I feel this would be that pure listening in a way. Pure listening not for some kind of spiritual goals, but for the very sheer joy of it. You know, but for the very simple but immediate joy of it. You know what I mean? And that somehow brings us out of mind. We just need something to get out of mind. It doesn't matter what, even if this. No. Get out of mind into what? Or where also. We get out of mind into who we are. We were always in the mind. We were always in the being. And the mind was always inside us. And we were inside the mind. This was the picture. No. Mind is inside us and we are inside the mind. We just get out of the mind, and where we remain after that? We remain where mind remains also. In the space of being. No? We are the being, by the way, in case you did not notice. Sometimes we have to really speak like this. You know? So we are that in which mind is happening. And once it is seen, then a being, like some being in the Zen says that the goose is already out. The goose is already out. Meaning I was never in the mind. You know? So there was no question of getting out of it. It was more a question of coming to myself, not getting out of mind. Although it appears to be like this, that we get caught up so much in the mind that we feel that, you know, first thing is to be free from this kind of uneasiness and restlessness, where nobody likes imprisonment. And we are able to sense that I am imprisoned in the mind. In the mind means imprisoned in a compulsive engagement. You know. So I just felt like sharing these kind of things joyfully. I hope they are useful in some way to you and to everyone.
Thank you so much, Ji, for singing for us. Thank you so much.
You know, there are two types of people in this world. The one who know very well how to sing, but they never sing, even if you ask, hey, please sing in the party. No? And there are other type of people who don't know at all how to sing, but they do sing always in the party. I'm sorry, but as far as singing goes, I'm that kind of second type of person. I don't know how to sing. Meaning my throat does not support me singing. No? When I'm singing this song of the heart, I am the song of the heart. My throat does not sing that. No? When you allow me to sing the song of the heart, you allow me the silence to speak. No? Before that, you are limiting me in many ways. No? You are asking me to put my responses into a certain context of conceptual understandings. Now you are saying, hey silence, hey silent being, can you speak? I say, okay, thank you. Somebody allowed me to speak or want me to speak. It's a joyful thing. It doesn't have any purpose as such, in one sense. But it can be very significant or very important or useful for some. No? As I was talking to Peter, no? That there comes a time when we are able to sense that if I can listen to the silence who speaks, then I can be free from the speakings of the mind into my place of silence also. That's what is satsang. Listening in satsang, listening the silence, speaking, and coming back to silence of our own being also through that, like becoming free from that compulsive engagement with the mind and noise in a way. In reality, technically, mind is not noise really. Noise is more that sense of discontentment that we feel when we are not able to live in the silence of our own being. in one sense, Yeah. Thank you. I just felt, again, like sharing. Anybody please talk. We still have some time. If something is not clear, we can try to, to explore.
Namaste ji. Ji, thank you very much for this meeting. Ji. Thank you so much. Ji, I had a misconception or misunderstanding about the presenting more. Whenever you say be more present, then I was having that, how can I be more present? I am present. But today I understood that what you're meaning by saying this, that being present. Because I could feel that there's a more levels where I'm not present. So slowly I need to bring it everything here. Because sometimes the feeling is there, but thought is not there. And sometimes whole is there, but somewhere I am lacking, not. So I felt like I understood today that what does mean that whole of myself present. Thank you very much.
Huh. It's an important topic actually, I feel, and we should explore it a little bit. No? Because I feel many of us might be having some misunderstandings about it. I don't really mean the same what you said, but your understanding is also quite correct in a way. So I would like to kind of say again a little bit that what it means to be more present. No? Like we can say like this, that we have a usual way of being, or usual way of being present in anything or at any point of time in the day is the same thing. No? Like our standard or default, or not default, but usual, like normal. Like when we are normal, when we are not meditating, when we are not trying to be more present or trying to do anything special about it, then we are in a certain way of being, and we are in a certain way, we are present in that way also in everything that we do, or present with everything where we are. No? And that way actually is a way of being more conscious of what we are present with and less conscious of who we are, who is present. That is the way of the person or false self. The false self state focuses on more what it can see or experience, and less from where it sees or who we are, who is seeing it. Like it is spending all of its light to illuminate the objects of perception more and more, in one sense. And there are two things I feel which I would like to include in this. One is that when we are living in the person state or false self state, we can be a divided false self state, or we can be more undivided or integrated false self state also. False self simply means not living as true self. False self is not a bad word for me. It simply is a pointer. It simply is a reference for something. It is not true, but it is still there in the picture. That without that we cannot really understand what is true self that we are. No? So that's why the false self has to come in the picture. False self is more of a state of the true self in which the true self is. Not that there is a false self and there is a true self. It's not like that. When the false self is not in the true state, then this is called living as the false self. When the true self is not in the true state, then it is called that living as the false self. When the true self is in the true state, it is called living as the true self. In both the cases, true self is still the true self only. Like this. So there are two. So in this divided state of the false self or undivided state of the false self is where improvement is possible, one place. Another place is kind of, so in this case what happens is that we are emitting too much light or focusing on too much on certain things, like thoughts we are focusing on too much, feelings we are not, for example. So certain level we are less conscious, certain level we are too much conscious. Too much conscious basically means too much involved also, because we see too many details of those things and we get involved because we have interest. One thing also it is very important to mention here is that when we are not living in our true state, then it's not that things are sticky inside us, but it is we are sticky more in a way. We are in a sticky state, not that things are sticky inside us. We are like ready to get stuck in things, like we want to be stuck in things now, you know. Like we get into that kind of state somehow, where we just want to stick to things, and we are just searching for things on which I can get stuck, no, or hold on to, or attach myself to. So that is that state where identification or attachment is a natural thing to happen continuously. That's why if we attend our thoughts little more than necessary, we will start seeing the details of them. Have we not noticed that we even joyfully talking about something and then we go into details of it and we keep thinking and thinking and thinking, and then we can go so weird thinking can begin, and we may laugh sometime, but and we can get stuck in that also, you know. So one level of state of false self where a correction can happen in terms of evenly distributing the consciousness along the range of thoughts and feelings and body sensations. No, that's what I call being stable and clear in a way. Not just attending the body all the time and not attending the thoughts and feelings, which is not a possibility generally speaking, but generally all the time attending the thoughts and not attending the body and feelings. Or sometime attending the feelings only and that time just not attending the thoughts at all. That's where we may take sometime impulsive decisions also. You know, but as you said correctly, that all three, body, thought and feeling, all three, shining by the seeing, by the consciousness of our seeing. No? Our seeing is that light. No? So this is what is practiced in many disciplines as being conscious or learning to be present. This is where we achieve that undividedness up to some degree, no? Meaning undividedness of what I call one seer, one seeing. This is that one seer, one seeing. You know. But still we are in the false self state here. We are not in the true self state yet. But we are happy, much more happy. You know. But why we are much more happy here? Because life has started producing beautiful results now, much better results than before. Our problems in the practical, life could be outside, caused by outside also, could be caused by, like it is mainly caused by one of the two things, I feel. One is that we have the very strong feeling to know who we are and we are not able to know. And that may give us the sense of discomfort inside us. That even if my life is perfect and yet somehow I am not happy. But the other version is that I am not happy because my life is not perfect. As simple as this. So when this version, that I am not happy because my life is not perfect, this version is where, this evenly distributing our light of seeing is required, being more stable. One seer, one seeing is required. Because if we are thinking too much, meaning we are giving too much energy to thinking and not attending the feelings, our decisions, for example, at the practical life level, at the false self level, will start going wrong more and more. We will be spending a lot of time and we will be gaining or getting less and less experiences which we want to experience. also, for example. No. So like somehow a imbalance happens here very much. And this can be corrected by being present. And we can be very happy now. And now we may feel that, okay, my life is not a practical life is not a problem. Which is not like a definitive one standard for everyone. It is more a declaration from each one of us individually. That what I mean by perfect. No? It could be that a Kavir, somebody is earning very little money, and they say it is perfect for me. Because neither they have any desire to improve it. Basically they don't have any desire to improve it. They are like fine. Like nothing suppressed here. Meaning in the core, nothing suppressed here. It's like, it's fine. No? Not that I want to succeed in practical life and I'm not able to. Not like this, no. But ultimately we all will come to that point where practical life is perfect. And that is the time when a feeling or desire comes in some beings that I want more from life than this. That is being present in ourself or being present as ourself also now. This silent sitting, for example, which we did, Dhyan and Satsang, which I share, is to enable us to this thing, this desire. I serve this desire, that I want more from my life. My practical life is all right, because I have evenly distributed my energies at all three basic levels of body, thought and feeling. And they are producing very balanced decisions, responses towards life, and my life is good. And I'm not very greedy or ambitious that, so I'm like, I'm fine, I'm doing good. But I want something more than that. But how to get that? This how to get that is learnt in Dhyan and Satsang, I feel. Because there is no how to about it directly. Directly there is no how to about coming back to who we are. Because whatever way we do, we will remain outside. We will remain in the doing. No? So first time we learn how to not do anything. That is Dhyan. Oh. So, but if I don't do anything, my life may collapse or something, no? Like this. Slowly we learn that no, practical life remains at these levels, and during the meditation I can actually relax. And after the meditation I can plug into it again. No? And I can create a system around it where I have timer, or how to say, alarms and things, reminders and things like this. So it's a awakening is for very wise and stable beings, I feel. No, it's not that I'm not succeeding in my practical life. Can I wake up and that will solve that problem? I cannot answer it. But there is definitely some misunderstanding here. There is a joy of being stable in life, no? And there is a joy of being without any relation with how life is flowing right now. In Dhyan and Satsang, we discovered the joy of being, joy of existing, independent of how life is flowing. Through stability, we learn to enjoy our meeting with the life that is flowing. Like we become more efficient, I feel. I tried my best to complete, or how to say, to bring some basics here based on what I feel or what I have learned. Please tell me if something is not clear to you or.
Ji, everything is very much clear. Ji. It's very much like step by step. Ji. Thank you so much.
Fine then. However, there are some common points, you can say, where roads, the two roads cross also. You know, the road to the success in the practical life, let's say, or in the normal life, no? Not success in the sense of ambitions, but in the sense of stability and contentment that we feel in life, happy life, anyway, happiness of life, and the discovery of who we are. You know, these two goals are the main two goals I feel in life, and their roads cross at some points, and these are very beautiful points. And if we can somehow learn those points, we are not only even if, let's say, we are serving only the purpose of serving the goal of happiness in life, we are also serving the goal of discovering who we are. Maybe not right now, but in time. No? Do you see that point? And I always I always try to look at those things which are kind of common, because that is how also. Let's say there are other type of people now. Oh, you all are those people who want to know yourself more. Not you are not interested in, happiness of living life, practical life. But you will be living practical life after satsang also, isn't it? So that practical life can help you through these crossroads, these points where these roads cross each other. And that practical life can serve now as a spiritual life also, One of the pointer I found is being present. But how to be present? This how to is something I really like to bring in a way, because understanding is fine. I have shared everything. Now you know that, okay, how to be present. Like basically there is no how to be present except spending ourselves more with what we are doing right now. This is the most fundamental or basic way which we can live through different techniques even. But basically this is what is going to be. That how I spend myself more with this cup of tea, for example. How can I spend myself more with this cup of tea? So what are you doing right now? Oh, I am drinking this tea. Drinking means experiencing this tea. So let me experience more, meaning more of myself experience this tea. What do you mean by whole of myself is experiencing this tea? Are you able to notice any thoughts right now? Yeah, thoughts are coming and going. No. If you are going to spend little more of yourself here, meaning more of yourself experience this tea, you will not be able to notice thoughts coming and going, because it is you only who is attending them. Are you able to notice your surroundings, sounds and everything around you, surround sound, of life? Oh yeah, totally. That's how it is, no? No. If you involve yourself more in experiencing this tea, you will not be able to experience, notice those sounds so much. Also, this is a how-to, for example, of being present. So this is one way, and I feel that we should practice being present in things where we are not thinking, but rather more directly experiencing something. Like where we are physically present, physical body and something physical we are doing, like cleaning the floor, for example, washing dishes, watering the plants, for example. It really may in the beginning look like I'm not going to get anything out of it, but very soon it will start working for us, and we feel more kind of joyfully crystallized in a way inside us. That, oh wow, it's kind of joyful to do this thing. We will feel like this, and more and more and more somehow. And so this is that key. This is that crossroad, which will enable us to be more stable and happy in uh, in relation to the life that is flowing, no? In relation to experiencing that life which is flowing. And it is the same point where the road or path to who we are also goes. Like the more present we are, actually the more present we are as who we are truly. This is the key. The more present we are, the more enabled we are in terms of thinking better, doing better, seeing better how life is. And also the same key, it is easier for us to sense who we are, or it is easier for us to not do anything, meditation. Why it is difficult to not to meditate? Because we are too divided by default. In life, whole of life, continuously, whole day, whole night, like this, by default, whole time we are continuously divided. So this practice of being present can help us in this way. Kind of can prepare us in a way, can enable us much more in the normal life, practical life, life flow, and can enable us to more simply and meditate more without stress. Do you follow what I'm saying? This is that one point which where these two paths may.
Ji, very much. Ji, can I check something also when you were talking? Something came.
Yeah.
You said sometime that not doing full-hearted.
Not doing wholeheartedly.
Wholeheartedly.
Haan.
And one time you mentioned if you are not doing wholeheartedly, this problem can be solved with the meditation. Like if you are
not doing wholeheartedly, this problem
then,
can be solved
like
with the meditation.
If you are sitting in the meditation, then this not doing wholeheartedly will be so. Which I felt like now what you said, that this, like if I'm divided, and if I'm following this, what you share, this being present with spending myself, this it means I will be sit in the meditation, and this full wholehearted, I will become wholehearted itself in the work also, right?
Indirectly, yes, but not directly. The problem with this is that when we are not wholehearted continuously in everything that we do, we are also not wholehearted in the doing of the meditation. Because in the beginning, meditation is also a doing at the borderline of doing and non-doing. No? We are standing where we choose not to do anything. And in this choosing not to do anything, we will be not wholehearted also here. So what to do? If it is possible that it may click to some beings, meditation may click to some being that, yeah, this is what I wanted to be or wanted to do. So that time, yes, it will work. Otherwise, the same habit will continue, isn't it?
If I'm going through the being present and then doing the meditation, then it will solve, right?
Then it doesn't need to solve, no? Why it need to solve then? Because being present basically means being wholehearted, no? Or not?
It was a misconception in me also, that two different things. Now it got cleared also then.
You see, what begins as being present is like understanding or importance given to being present. Like, yeah, it makes sense to be more present in my life in doing things what I'm doing than to be lost. No, that just makes no sense. But it only begins like this. The moment we start succeeding in being present where we are, we start falling in love with what we are doing, the life. That's where the love or our heart opens up for it. And then we are wholehearted in doing what we are doing. And we somehow feel that, hey, this is what I wanted actually in my life. I wanted to be wholehearted in doing what I'm doing. I wanted to just be where I am. And that somehow completes the picture in a way, in the sense that the doing becomes complete and the being becomes free from sense of doer. No? Like just the doing and the being. No? But the perfect doing. So this is that magic part also here. As long as the doing is incomplete, the being somehow feels that I can improve it. Either the being has to turn towards itself, that who I am, is not dependent on the perfection of my doings. Or for some time at least the doing has to become complete. Even for a few minutes. That it wakes up that, okay, now what? Now what? Because the being spent whole life in perfecting its doing, completing its doing, and then it is complete now. Now what? The being becomes free. Free from what? Free from engagement with the flow. And it becomes free into what? Into itself. That's what is waking up. Oh, I am myself. I am myself. I am this internal silent being who does not need any attention, any awareness or consciousness or anything from as a activity. I am absolute completeness. I am Sat, Chit, Anand. I am myself consciousness or awareness. I am myself bliss and I am myself truth. Not that I need some kind of activity of consciousness or awareness, or I need any involvement with anything or any movement to feel bliss, or I need to do anything to be truth that I am. No. So this is that this trap also in one sense, but it's a divine trap. It's not really trap of the false self. It's a divine trap of the true being that we are. So this is one thing where roads cross, no? Being present, or through spending ourselves in what we are doing. Another thing that I shared also before, it helps is every day is waking up in the morning, whenever possible, after tea and everything, like when, but not after we start working. No, before we start working in the day. Just before that, little bit before that, if possible. Like when we are more relaxed, like when the office mind has not turned on in a way, or the world mind has not turned on. That time, let us sit inside us and just observe what is going on inside me. It is like a review system, internal review system of the doer that we are. And it works for the being that we are also, in the direction of waking up. This is again that crossroad. But it means is to be more conscious. But generally, not specifically about a certain thought or a feeling or thoughts or feelings or body, but as a whole, increasing consciousness. Just sitting inside us and just observing what is going on right now. Meaning it will include the thoughts of the yesterdays, what happened, where I could do better or not, and thoughts of today also, what I'm going to do today, and the planning for tomorrow also. All of that will happen inside us, and we do not do it, but rather we look at it, that what is going on inside me. And I'm not really telling you something very, very special here. It is something very simple, but powerful, significant. Many people do this. Many people who are very successful in this world, they do it also, I found. Every day they start very early in the day, and or maybe not, depends. But they just sit quietly inside. Okay, they kind of overview their life inside themselves. The actual life, not the life as such, but their particular relatable life which has facts and actual things. No? That okay, let's see. And this somehow increases consciousness inside them. And this increased consciousness enables them to take better decisions, to see more clearly what is going on and what they want. No? I don't think anybody has any complaint in life in terms of what is available. Our complaint is that I am not able to get that which is available. So our complaint is about that I am not able to get that. And this clear seeing will enable us to get that if it is possible. Actually, if it is not our imagination. Like we are able to clearly see the path, the cost also, cost of getting anything in life. Yes, the same consciousness, being more conscious, somehow enables the being who want to wake up, who want to sit in, like all of us now, who want to sit in the being, enables us to be more simply, more easily free from engagement with anything. Like the more conscious we are, not conscious in that moment, but conscious generally. Please understand the difference between more conscious right now, like we suddenly turn on the floodlight. No, not that. That cannot make us free generally. It maybe can make us free in this moment only, and then we will be back. As soon as that light will be gone, we are back to attachment. So you can say attachment is what is a response of the being when it is living in unconsciousness more. And letting go or being reasonable about what is happening is the response of the being when there is sufficient consciousness inside us also. So if we increase the consciousness, we don't have to let go so much, but we just simply see that things are just there. On this is in this table, this is on that table. I don't have to let go or hold on to. There is some third option. I work with life. I live with life. I don't let go. I don't hold on to. No. Life is, and I am. You know what I mean? Like we become more appropriate somehow in the. So this is the second point, which can increase the consciousness, but as a whole. I think it's enough. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This meeting is going on very, very well, I feel, and still I have this feeling that we can spend few minutes more. If anybody want to talk to me, you can talk also, no? Or otherwise we just sit like this. No? Diva, you want to talk?
Rajee. This, what I want to ask about is, I am not sure if it is relatable to what has been spoken so far, but there is something that occurred to me while in the last few times as I sat with you in meditation, and also while you were speaking about the various points at which, like being present in the moment and about silence and about the childlike innocence. In line to that, something came to light for me is that being myself is always the case, but somehow, due to the environmental needs, there is pretense, a lot of pretense that gets added on. And that actually keeps us so like a lot of the mind comes into life because of this pretense. Like you have to be something else than what you are, and I felt that that seems to, the moment I dropped off any form of pretense, just like a let go. Many things fell off, like fear, and so could you throw some light upon it, because I feel that really is something which affected my life, the way I was living a lot.
I can just share somewhere something, I can begin somewhere, and then if you feel, you can say also a little bit in between. No? I would like to say like this, that pretension in the practical life, personal life, is like going on a holiday. We enjoy that so much, like wow, new things, beautiful. And then after being happy, contented in that adventure, we come home. And the moment we open the door of our house, even if it is a very, very small house, we feel like, wow. Like we find it always beautiful, generally speaking, especially, let's say, if life is good in our house, comfortable. Why? Even if that was amazingly beautiful adventure, but yet we were pretending continuously. And that was adding little bit of a stress, little bit of a discomfort at subtler levels, which we don't need to continue now. We can relax more, isn't it? But we do go on the next holiday even after that, no? We do go. In fact, after 1 or 2 days only, we will start looking for new destinations, no? Isn't it? We do that. In the similar way, I feel we, the being who we are, is on these adventures of living as an individual person, no, in life. And we continue that. At some point, maybe we can learn, like a balance, maybe, in between, where we pretend as little as necessary, for example. And we will not call it pretending also. Because if you call pretend, you will feel more burden. No? I'm just joking. But we don't call it pretending because it is not. We call it reasonably responding to life. Like seeing that it totally makes sense for me to speak a normal language when I go to a shop. That, hey guy, hey, give me a bread and here is the money. Or will you do you like online payment or like cash, online payment or cash, whatever, rather than going and there saying like, I am the being, you are the being, we are one, and this bread is mine, and I'm not going to give you any money. You don't say like that, no? He will say, okay, then from now onward I will live in your house because we are one. Your house is my house. So it kind of is accepted by us as a reality of life, not as reality of my being is different and everything else is pretending. Even pretending is not actually pretending, no? It's just living in life. No? And if we are on the topic of pretending, even being someone is pretending. It's not about being particular person or male or female even. For the formless, empty, absolutely, nothing. No, we are nothingness. No? This nothingness is anyway pretending to be somethingness and somebodyness all the time when in the body. No, so that pretense does not begin in the practical life. It begins the moment we open our eyes in the waking state in the morning. No? So this is all I could say. I don't know where it fits what you were saying and what you got out of it. Please tell me if it is fine or...
This last line that you said, that is the realization that dawned upon me that isn't it like, it's very easy, like very innocent also. When the moment we open our eyes, at that time, it's like complete blank most times. Like, there is nothing. There is a freshness to it, childlike innocence also to it. And it's that pretense that you mentioned about, that you become a somebody. And that's what came to me one fine morning, is like, oh, this is what happens. It's a pretense. That's the context I was speaking about, and that's exactly what you just said. And thinking over it a little, I realized we were trained to be so self-conscious also, following this first pretense, that become self-conscious about things that you do, that we've gone far off from what our original nature was really. So where does this self-consciousness, which is a trained self-consciousness, can we shed that all without like just drop it all? Or there are certain boundaries. That's what I was thinking of. If we can talk about it, that's fine. Otherwise, it's
we can actually. Like we can drop this learned self-consciousness into true self-consciousness. No? And basically this learned self-consciousness will be replaced by true self-consciousness. No? So yes, it is possible to replace it. And when it is replaced, actually, living in the practical life is not so difficult really. You know, meaning it is a learning curve, but not so long, no, not a big one, and also a very joyful one. No? When waking up, life is difficult. Practical life might feel difficult mainly because we are actually moving from one point to another like a flip-flop, continuously, like to the true self consciousness, to back to false self-consciousness or learned self-consciousness continuously. Being a person means learned self-consciousness. No, being who we are is true self-consciousness or self-consciousness of the true self that we are, true being that we are. No, actually, if we are more present in life, let's say, then the non-essential part of learned self-consciousness starts falling away also. You know, the non-essential part. Non-essential is something very important to be understood, no? Like what is non-essential is working like a poison, always going to work like a poison, no? So that starts falling away. Only the appropriateness remains, like the essential part of learned self-consciousness. What is that? That I'm a female, that my name is this, I live here, and so on. No? Where our physical body and its energies also contribute to that learning. No? But somehow, while we are living the learned self-knowledge, the true self-knowledge, learned self-consciousness, the true self-consciousness starts waking up inside us, no? When we are present. Like both the things at the same time, not either or. So this is the magic of being present. We can meditate a lot in the either or situation, that meditating a lot, then again back to learned self-consciousness. But at some point we will choose to be present, which includes both at the same time. No? And it is a good idea to meditate first before attempting being present. No? But also for some it may be a better idea to learn to be present more before meditating also. Depends on how it works for us. Both are serving the same purpose. I think we are good then. Thank you.
yeah, Rajee.
I felt very happy to meet all of you, interact with all of you, and explore the truth with all of you in different ways, different topics. But actually the topic is same, because truth is same. Yeah, I feel thankful to you that you joined. Thank you.